Today I'm going to talk about the different kinds of insurance that small business owners would likely need. Workers' compensation insurance protects a business owner from claims by employees for injuries on the job. And it's in the district and in pretty much every other jurisdiction in the United States. Most companies are required to carry workers' compensation insurance. And this is usually workers' compensation insurance is usually purchased as a separate policy from your other insurance policies, a specific workers' compensation policy. Typically, it covers the employee's medical expenses, rehabilitation costs, and lost wages. And as I mentioned, since it is required coverage, if you have an employee who's injured on the job and you don't have workers' compensation insurance, then in addition to being liable for the medical expenses for the employee, you may also be subject to fines for non-compliance. If you have a business and you don't have any employees, just yourself, you're not required to have workers' compensation insurance. If you have independent contractors, you're not required to have workers' compensation on them, but you need to make sure that they are, in fact, independent contractors and not employees. The rate that you pay is going to be based on the actual experience of your company. So it pays from a workers' compensation perspective to try to minimize employee injuries on the job. I'm sure it pays to do that for other reasons as well, but it will help with your workers' compensation insurance costs. Property insurance protects your business from losses due to damage to the physical space or equipment of your business. And that encompasses really more than just your building. It really encompasses your building and everything inside your building, including non-tangible items such as trademarks and copyrights. Generally, there are three types of property insurance that you can purchase. The basic form, which specifies the losses that it covers, including fire, lightning, windstorm, hail, explosions, and the cost of removing property to protect it from further damage. The broad form, which adds a few other additional types of coverage for a few other additional types of perils. And then the special form, which basically covers everything except some items that are specifically excluded in the policy. The broad and basic form kind of identify what types of events are covered by the insurance. The special form kind of identifies the things that are not, and anything that's not specifically excluded would be covered. When you buy property insurance, you generally have two options. You can buy actual cash value, which would, for example, if you had equipment that was damaged, the insurance would replace the sort of depreciated cost of the equipment, or replacement cost insurance, which would replace the actual cost of the liability insurance. If someone falls while visiting your business or a customer is hurt by one of your products, then you can be held responsible for that, and that's what liability insurance covers. It's also called commercial general liability coverage, and it covers four types of events that you, as a business owner, could be held responsible. Bodily injury, damage to others' property, personal injury, including slander and libel, and false or misleading advertising. There are three types of legal damages that people may sue you for that are typically covered by a commercial general liability policy. There's compensatory damages that are the financial losses suffered by the injured party. General damages, which are non-monetary losses suffered by the party, such as pain and suffering or mental anguish. And then there's punitive damages that are additional penalties that are designed to encourage you not to repeat the kind of behavior again. Standard liability insurance doesn't cover everything. Some of the things that it doesn't cover include claims from sexual harassment, wrongful termination of an employee, failure to employ or promote, or race or gender lawsuits. Claims related to operating an automobile or truck, those would tend to be covered by your automobile insurance policy, and professional liability issues. Business interruption and continuation insurance is another type of property and liability insurance coverage that you may want to consider for your business. It covers lost earnings due to circumstances covered by a property insurance policy. There is something that's called a business owner's policy that is a package solution that may be a reasonable alternative particularly for small businesses. It tends to cover a property and liability insurance, business interruption insurance, and it's often less costly to purchase a package policy than to go out and purchase separate individual policies. All motorized vehicles have to have insurance. That's a requirement. So whether it's used for personal or business purposes, the types of coverage that are covered by a commercial auto policy and a personal auto policy generally are similar, except a commercial policy limits tend to be higher, and it tends to cover rental vehicles and may cover your personal vehicles used for business purposes. Group health insurance for employees is one of the most expensive benefits that employers provide for their employees. As you all know, healthcare reform passed federal level last year, and starting in 2014, it requires everybody, with a few minor exceptions, to have health insurance. Starting in 2014, many businesses are going to be required to provide health insurance to their employees. The healthcare legislation did provide many benefits to small employees. For example, there's a 35% tax credit if you have under 25 full-time employees and you provide health insurance coverage to your employees, and that credit goes up to 50% in 2014. Another health-related option that you may want to provide for your employees is long-term disability insurance. There are generally two types of disability insurance. Short-term disability, which covers a portion of the employee's salary, and it usually kicks in after a certain period of sick days and tends to run for a period of 3 to 6 months. And long-term disability, which usually kicks in after 6 months and may go for a number of years or till an employee reaches age 65. Group life insurance is another employee benefit type of insurance that's offered by many companies. Home-based businesses need to have proper insurance just like any other business, and a lot of times home-based businesses do not. If you have a home-based business and you have employees, you are probably going to be required to have workers' compensation insurance. If you're running a business out of your home and relying on just your homeowner's policy, and something happens to some of your equipment, you may not have enough coverage to replace. You may be able to add an endorsement to your existing personal insurance policies. You can purchase some additional homeowner business insurance protection. A lot of home-based businesses start out with one of the things that I mentioned before, the business owner's policy. That's kind of a package policy that provides insurance. Finally, I'd just like to remind you to be an educated insurance consumer, to shop around when you're looking for any type of insurance. You can check our website, www.disb.dc.gov. You can find out if you're the insurance company and the insurance producer who's selling you the business, if they're licensed. You can also give us a call. We can provide you with that information. And you should review your insurance coverage annually.